This comes down to vigilantism. The government is not doing enough, and what they are doing is inadequate. So we need to take the law into our own hands. And then you have cases like Neely. And even though that person right now is being indicted, the person that murdered Neely is being put on trial, he is being hailed as a hero across America right now for killing a man. For killing a man. And that's what this comes down to. They want to make that a more normalized thing. That is the extent of their position. That is the logical extreme of this segment. You know, I was looking for a clip on Twitter that I wanted to cover of Fox News host Jesse Waters, known slimeball, just genuinely a ghoul. A ghoul. A cartoon villain of himself. Ghoul. Okay? And I found something worse. So we will be getting to that clip because it all kind of ties in together. But I watched about 5 seconds of this video and had to pause it because I was immediately just blinded with rage. For anyone that's new to chat, for anybody new that is watching this video, anyone new that's watching in general, I am particularly empathetic towards the plight of unhoused individuals and my unhoused neighbors. Growing up in Austin and seeing the rapid expanse of unhouselessness in Austin, moving to Portland and seeing a genuine state of crisis within the unhoused community, and seeing not only just a violent, visceral lack of response from our mayor, f***ing Ted, old Ted Wheeler, but also just a violent and fascistic and genocidal response from f***ing Ted, okay? Ted recently put in place legislation that builds, and I am not kidding you, and I am not being hyperbolic here, concentration camps. What this legislation does is cleans up tents and moves them into the dearths of the outskirts of Portland, right outside of the city where no one can see, puts them all together, and is planning on having privatized, hired internal and external security to act as a police force. Guys, I know that we've never made this analogy on stream before, but they are genuinely like Nazis. Like a ghetto, unironically like a ghetto. Okay, anyway, so with this, you know, pretext in mind, let's be angry together. Let's be angy together, okay?
Well, the Washington, D.C. suburbs, the home of the military-industrial complex, but Portland, Oregon, that's the home of the homeless industrial complex.
You see why I had to stop this 10 seconds in, right? Yes, big homelessness is coming for you, okay? Big homelessness. It's a state psyop, guys. Invest now. Homeless stocks are up. Are we angry? Are we already seething? Do you feel the fire burning within you? Because it gets worse.
The homeless industrial complex. Homelessness in Portland is exploding. So what'd the city do? Did they round up the mentally ill and get them treatment? Did they crack down on drugs? Nope. Portland spent $50 million to build safe rest villages for the homeless. They're basically like little Keebler elf towns. They got 4 walls, a roof, a couple bathrooms, washing machines. And this is where they drop 60 homeless in the middle of a residential neighborhood. Okay.
We're never making it through this, but we need to be very clear about some things. I'm already seething. Okay. Firstly, what this kind of rhetoric implies, and I'm sure that I don't need to say this, is Handsome is going to town on his bone right now. What this kind of rhetoric implies is that unhoused people should be living in filth, shouldn't have access to a bathroom, shouldn't have access to housing, because they are less than. This person is calling for, if not an active genocide, a passive genocide. Absolutely disgusting. Secondly, I would like to remind everybody of this fun little statistic. See, America has a 6-to-1 open home to unhoused person ratio. When we look at cities, when we look at Austin, LA, Portland, Seattle, God, I don't even want to know what Manhattan's like, but we're looking at an extrapolation of about 32-to-1. 32-to-1 open housing units to unhoused people. We don't need to build more housing. We can literally just house people for free. But of course, the NIMBYs won't allow that. I need everyone to remember, I am not against building more homes and more housing units, but the idea of building tiny homes, which is better than the alternative, but the idea of building tiny homes for unhoused communities is unnecessary. My boy's going over there. How did you drool so much already? Ugh. Baby break. Also, I can tell you right now that these are practices that are being put into place in cities like LA and Seattle. This is not going on in Portland, as we've discussed already. Ted is too busy building his concentration camps.
It's not a treatment center. Nobody's there getting detoxed or getting mental health services. They're still getting high, still stealing, and still raising a ruckus. Hey, neighbor.
This Safe Rest Village on North Syracuse Street is barely...
This person does not care about mental health services or rehabilitation. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. It's vague gesturing at the idea so he can wave away. He can wave away any of the fascistic rhetoric that he's espousing right now. He does not care about rehabilitation for addicts. Also, might I remind everybody of the weird, who knows what drug upper and downer concoction Fox News hosts are often on, okay? I don't want to hear it from Waters over here.
Barely a week old, but neighbors say it's already causing issues.
Well, I've seen a lot of more and more of the...
What was that cut?
It's already causing issues.
Well, I've seen a lot of more and more...
That's a Commie Bravo cut right there.
Dealers here, and the people are just very blatant. They will actually do the drugs right out in front of us. We have noise going all night long.
Gary.
Okay. So do you want to know what that looks like? Do you want to know what that looks like? That means that we need safe injection sites, safe use sites. We need access to universal health care. We need systems. This whole thing is going to be centered around the argument. My whole position is that we need systems in place that prevent houselessness. But these people don't want to talk about this. What their positions ultimately come down to, if it is not busing unhoused people out of the city, out of city limits into other towns, what it is genocide.
Gary says this video taken by a neighbor is just one example of the increase in concerning activity. He tells me starting in the late afternoon, the same cars will show up and some who live in the Safe Rest Village will approach them.
I don't think they really care about us, honestly. It's just a feeling I have because it just feels like we were just thrown out to the wolves.
The only people...
Do we want to talk about who the state apparatus really doesn't care about? I need everybody to understand that this person probably isn't on the right. This person's probably a Democrat at that as well. This is a very common sentiment within the progressive borders of Portland, Oregon, within the progressive borders of LA, Seattle, Austin. These are very commonly echoed sentiments. Disgusting, vitriolic at that, but common. We have an innate fear, even if it is not recognized, that these people are otherized and that they are untouchable, that they are an untouchable class. Because we are, as Americans, 1 or 2 missed paychecks away from being their neighbors proper. And we need, in our violence of capitalism, we need the ability to say, "Fuck you, I got mine." To say that I'm here because I'm doing a moral good in my life. I'm doing moral goods. And you're there because you're doing moral bads. And that's what separates us. When really what it is bad luck. It's having a lack of a support system, or a support system disappear. Hey, over the past few years, how many family members have passed away due to COVID? There's your support network. There's your immediate support network gone. It has missed paychecks. Most Americans don't have $300 for an emergency. I sure as hell don't. I don't know about anyone in chat. Feel free to chime in. But innately, internally, we do this thing where we otherize unhoused people as a way to protect ourselves. So that person is echoing a very commonly echoed sentiment. But if you want to talk about who's really forgotten, who's being thrown to the wolves, it's not you living in suburbia. I promise. Oh, you have to drive by and see a tent in a neighborhood where your coffee shop is that you go to every day and spend $6 to $8 on coffee every day. Oh, poor you. I worked at coffee shops where I was disallowed from, not just discouraged, but disallowed from giving water to unhoused people in downtown Portland. This was during like heat waves in Portland when it was like 110, 115, like unprecedented weather, but becoming all more common with climate change. It's inhumane and it's disgusting. I no longer work at those shops for a reason. I have $36 in savings under my name. Currently waiting for social SSI application result. Yeah, it's rough. Okay, it's rough for everybody. I totally hear you, and you know, solidarity. Most Americans, myself included, are in that boat.
Urban Alchemy got $50 million to run the homeless village or run it into the ground. Angela,
this is also fucking disgusting. I'm not sure how much of this can I like. No, I can't like put this off screen, unfortunately. Otherwise, hold on. Maybe I can like do this all number. Having filmed segments with unhoused people just existing or using is dehumanizing, and intentionally so. And also, might I add, a majority of unhoused communities are not this. It is an intentionally nefarious way of making you fear these people, to reinstill that fuck you, I got mine mentality, and that these people are there because of moral failures and not because we failed them. We are the wealthiest country in the world, and we also have a houseless crisis that is unparalleled in scale to the rest of the world. It is a moral failure on the state apparatus that we have not prevented this, that we have not fixed this. And every day it continues to be a furthering and furthering of a moral failure.
Todd is the founder of PDX Real, and she joins me now. So, Angela, did any thought go into the fact that if you place 60 homeless addicts in the same place, that maybe some drug dealers might congregate there?
Okay, so are we going to address the war on drugs? Are we going to suggest what rehabilitation looks like? Are we going to look at decriminalization and then further legislation on top of that, what that looks like? Because in Portland, they decriminalized possession and then did nothing else. So of course that's not going to shake out well. And now everyone can blame the libs. Everyone can point their fingers at those dirty, dirty libs encouraging drug use.
All of us in Portland, Jesse, know what the outcome is here with these.
This is just a guy. They're showing down here just a guy. Just a person existing. Okay?
Villages. This is honestly just a Hail Mary. They have no idea if this is going to work, and it really...
Here, we see somebody with a nice little mat using one of the tiny homes. Are you scared?
It's an indication it hasn't worked so far. Our neighborhoods, every time they set up these type of safe rest villages, it's just a area.
I would like for everyone to look at the difference between these two. Okay, again, I can't attest to this being in any Portland culture, any Portland neighborhood. I certainly haven't seen this, and I haven't seen any legislation. As someone that's very active in city council, I've heard nothing about this. However, if we're supposed to believe that this is violence and depravity, and this is somehow better, well, it is to them. The one on the bottom this is what they want them to live in. They don't want them to live in general. But if they are going to live, and if they are going to live in Portland, they want them to live in this amount of squalor, with this level of inhumanity. This, on top, is what they fear. This, down here, is what they want.
Area around it of organized crime and drugs. We continue to look at this housing first instead of looking at our mental health and our drug addiction on Portland streets and trying to get people real help.
Well, they're not actually trying to get them real help because they're getting real money. $50 million to put up a bunch of little tents with a washing machine? Where'd the rest of the money go?
Do you know how expensive housing is right now? You fool. You absolute fool. I thought conservatives were supposed to be economically savvy. These Neanderthals. Do you not understand the housing market right now? Do you not understand what property costs are right now? What getting that kind of land and sectioning it out to individuals looks like? You fool. You absolute baboon. You are scrabbling pond life for a brain synapse, and you're still failing. On top of that, Portland has an incredibly, and I'm sure I don't need to say this, Portland has an incredibly inflated, militarized police budget. There is no shortage of funds that can be reallocated towards this. I would much rather my taxes that I pay, the 30 to 40% of my paycheck that is gone, I would much rather that go towards supporting the unhoused communities, towards supporting rehabilitation, a city national or city putting forward healthcare as a human right, counseling as a human right. These were things that were on the ballot and then got brushed away. I would much rather have these things than having cops that A, either don't do anything, or B, when they do, just kill black people. I don't care, and I've brought this argument up when we talk about the plight of trans youths, and people will often say, "Oh, well, you know, how many surgeries is going to be enough? How young is young enough?" I don't give a fuck. I promise you, I don't give a fuck. How expensive is housing the unhoused community going to be? How expensive is that going to be on top of having these social programs? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. And I don't care if there's a tax hike because of it. If I have neighbors that get to live in dignity, and I have the peace of mind of knowing that people don't have to suffer and die in the streets, that's fantastic. Yeah, I will gladly. I will go take it. Take 50% of my paycheck. I don't care. That's fine. But honestly, that's not what these funds look like. The city has a budget, and the state has a budget. And we just need to reallocate those funds a little bit. What were we seething over? Oh God, we have like 50% of this video left to go.
You know, when we were talking about this Safe Rest Village, it's interesting. This is just a fraction of the money. We have hundreds of millions of dollars every year that are pumped into what I call the homeless advocacy cartel. The truth is,
the homeless advocacy cartel. Fantastic.
Is they do not want solutions. They want to, for life, make these people dependent, and they want to take away their purpose so that they can put it through to these nonprofits.
What purpose are they taking away from these people on the streets? Tell me what purposeful, meaningful lives these people are living right now. You fool. You Neanderthal. I need everyone to remember the pull yourself up by your bootstraps argument was made to be a fallacy. It was made to be a fallacious statement. You cannot physically pull yourself up from your bootstraps if you are laying down. It is impossible. I hate these people. I hate them. And they are pandering. They are trying to do this vague, amorphous milquetoast Tucker Carlson. Great value. We have Tucker Carlson at home. Populism. They're trying to do that to make you think at home that they are one of you. These people do not go to the same home that you do. These people do not live the same lives that you do. These people don't struggle. They don't worry about putting food on the table. They don't care about what working in America looks like. These people don't know what working in America looks like. They are not you. And these people are far away from anything, from any situation that you're in that would put you in a situation where your unhoused neighbors are now physically your neighbors. This woman is supposed to be a homeless advocate. It's a mask. It's always a fucking mask. You know, it's just a way. Yeah, you can tell that she's a lib too because of the neck scarf. It's just a way of protecting themselves from pushback. Oh, look, we have a homeless advocate here on the scene with us. So, you know, balls in your court, libs. And this person is like 2 steps away from just saying that we need to start building the camps. Sorry, my dog just farted and it smells so bad. I think the rage in my brain is just replaced by... I mentioned gas camps and my dog's like, yes, go on. I mentioned gas chambers and my dog says, I got you. Okay. I'm losing brain cells left and right. Let's go.
Continue to fund the elections in Oregon. That's
So Angela...
Okay, hold on. I need to follow this line. Something about the unhoused advocacy cartels funding elections in Oregon.
So Angela is...
Big homelessness. Big homeless is funding the elections in Portland.
Nonprofits and continue to fund the elections in Oregon. That's
so Angela...
One more time.
They want to, for life, make these people dependent, and they want to take away their...
Okay, so they want to increase social safety nets and spend more of their budget, okay?
Purpose so that they can put it through to these nonprofits.
They can put it forward to these nonprofits, okay?
And continue to fund the...
Even though we agreed that these aren't going through nonprofits, we're supposed to be fearing our tax dollars being left by the wayside, being just kind of thrown at this amorphous, unsolvable issue, of course. But no, that's not really the issue because now they're going to nonprofits.
The elections in Oregon.
And then the nonprofits are funding the elections in Oregon.
So Angela...
And so they win. It doesn't take a mastermind to like see through this bullshit. If you just stop and think about it for a minute, these people are pathetic.
Is the IRS, is an audit ever going to happen? Or are they just going to keep washing this money through these organizations and then through these...
Oh, God, you can see him like reading a script, too. He's lost in the sauce, too. Look at this.
Happen? Or are they just going to keep washing this...
He can't keep up with the plot. He can't keep up with the plot.
Money through these organizations and then through these politicians' war chests.
Politicians' war chests. Okay.
Well,
the war on housed people continues.
If I and the 100,000 followers that are behind PDX Real have anything to say about it in Oregon, I promise you.
PDX Real. PDX Real. Community engaged reporting. I have an Instagram page. There's a Facebook page. And there's a Twitter. Let's look. So this is PDX Real. Portland is in trouble. I put my thumb on politicians, discuss poor policies, and encourage you to actively get involved. They're building the SS, the Portland SS. Fantastic. So we just have a bunch of pictures, unsolicited pictures of unhoused people. The anti-racism movement is a bad religion. It doesn't need anyone's help. It doesn't help anyone. And here we have a picture of a white woman. Fantastic. Does Multnomah County ignore vicious dog attacks from encampments? Ooh, nice dog whistle, pun intended. You get your like pit bull dog whistles in there as well. Okay. Well, oh hey, go follow my Instagram. It's private. So good luck getting through. Twitter. What's your Twitter like? A couple hours ago, there were at least half a dozen deaths/dead bodies that were found that were OD related, all within an hour, including one in Old Town, one downtown around 4th and Washington, and one near a hotel on Sandy Boulevard, the one on 96th and Southeast Division. That's close-ish out towards my neighborhood. It's probable that a particularly deadly batch of fentanyl is currently being circulated in Portland. Okay, so do we want to start carrying Narcan? And do we want to start providing that more easily and more accessibly and free to the masses? Do we want to start doing that? Oh no, we're just going to fearmonger? Okay, fantastic. Here we have what I'm assuming is going to be a, again, unsolicited recording of an unhoused person probably having an episode. It's local news fear mongering. Okay, so we have an Instagram website, or an Instagram influencer and Twitter influencer on Fox News. Do these people do any outreach, or do they just fear monger? Because I have a strong feeling it's the latter.
1,000 followers that are behind PDX will have anything to say about it in Oregon. I promise I'll have anything. I and the 100,000 followers.
100,000? That was only like 50,000. We're inflating a little bit.
That are behind PDX Real have anything to say about it in Oregon. I promise.
PDX Real founder. Yeah, I logged on. That's my founder title. Fuck off.
There's going to be accountability very soon. We are completely just fed up with our government profiting off of people's suffering and saying that they're the compassionate ones. We have people out on the...
I agree, but in entirely different sentiments. And again, what this is a vague, amorphous, pathetic attempt at populism. Genuinely pathetic attempt. Also, white woman jump scare.
On the street that are they've let this fester so long, Jesse, that we have people with mental illness and mental health, drug addiction. It almost seems incurable. It is, it's really awful to see this happen to your city. And we are tired of the government solutions. One of the most egregious things I wanted to say.
Okay, so, this is, now we're getting into, you know what this comes down to? This comes down to vigilantism. The government is not doing enough, and what they are doing is inadequate. So we need to take the law into our own hands. And then you have cases like Neely. And even though that person right now is being indicted, the person that murdered Neely is being put on trial, he is being hailed as a hero across America right now for killing a man. For killing a man. And that's what this comes down to. They want to make that a more normalized thing. That is the extent of their position. That is the logical extreme of this segment. It's fucking disgusting. I'm harking back to, oh man, I believe it was back in 2016. I was still living in Austin at the time. I had just moved back up after I had dropped out of school. I was unemployed, and I think the week before this happened, managed to get a job, thankfully. The city had a solution to help lift up and give purpose to these welfare kings, queens, and non-binary heroes to make them work, right? If you were on unemployment, if you were, filling out your job searches, you also needed to volunteer, and this was in the middle of the summer, with the city to do cleanup downtown, to do city beautification, I believe was the rhetoric that they used for this. So people on unemployment, so people waiting on, hearing back from jobs, who are in between jobs, who are on the paltry amount of unemployment as well, that does not cover rent, that does not cover food, were forced to go downtown and go under I-35 and clear out people's tents. Clear out their unhoused neighbors' tents. These people who, they are a step away, they are a missed benefit check away, if that, from being their neighbors. It is intentionally nefarious, and I cannot enforce how genuinely genocidal this is. How much longer of this video do we have?
Is that they are looking to diagnose people with substance use disorders so they can get a federal Medicaid waiver. For 6 months, they're planning on housing them and then apply them.
This person lives in an elseworld. This person lives in a fucking elseworld. I've got nothing else. This does not happen. I don't know how many of these videos we have to go through, how many Fox News videos or conservative videos we have to go through. These people live in an elseworld. These people are unwell. And hey, you know what? I want a society that gives them the mental rehabilitation that they deserve.
For permanent housing for the rest of their life. This proposal, all these proposals, it is the money-hungry cartel of government and their NGOs in the state of Oregon that are profiting from people's suffering.
Well said, Angela, and your group does great work, and I think everybody should support that.
I have some very opposite terms that Twitch would not be happy with, actually. I have a lot of sentiments that neither Twitch or YouTube would be happy with that I would like to apply to both of these people. As in, she wants people to stay unhoused, yeah. And then she wants them to die. Are you guys angry? Because it gets so much worse. Jesse Waters says, we should stigmatize homeless people who have failed in life and are on their deathbed. The VA estimates there are about 40,000 homeless veterans, approximately 10% of the population. 10%. 10%. And this is just veterans, okay? This is a moral failure. A pathetic failure on America's part. Okay.
Homelessness isn't about lack of affordable housing. It's about drug addicts that want to wander around and live in tents on the sidewalk.
This does not happen. People don't choose. Why? Hey, if people choose, if being unhoused and being an addict is so luxurious and so enviable that people are flocking to the streets to be in these situations, then do it. Do it, motherfucker. Get in there. It's so easy, right? You're a coward and you're spineless. Say it with your chest, Waters.
And so you can't coddle antisocial behavior. You can't subsidize antisocial behavior. You have to stigmatize it. You can't celebrate people with purple hair, with nose rings.
Here we go. Here we go. It's the wokes.
4 kids.
It's the wokes. We've looped it back around on trans degeneracy, guys. You like how that needle was thread? You like that? Wow, am I looking at the new Fantastic Four movie? Mr. Fantastic, is that you? That was such an impressive stretch.
With 4 different men who are dressed like...
Yeah, see, there's the degeneracy. You have 4 different babies with 4 different men. None of this has to do with being unhoused, of course.
And make them out to be some sort of cutting-edge heroes. You have to call them what they are. These are people that have failed in life and they're on their deathbed. And if we're not honest about it, we're never going to fix this problem. Homelessness is
I have nothing left. I mean, genuinely, I am beyond words. These people are genocidal freaks. Every day I wake up and am reminded of the fact that no action, no harm, no violence levied against my enemies is wrong because they are ontologically evil. These people are on a deathbed. Yeah, Jesse Waters, you deserve much worse. I would like to end on a little bit of a brighter note, okay? I want everyone to just breathe a little bit, okay? What can be done? Livid but fine. Yeah. I care about actionable steps, practicality, outreach, coalition building, and community organizing. One of the best things that you can do outside of going to city council, outside of advocating for better social security nets, advocating for mental health and rehabilitation services, the cacophony of steps needed to be taken unilaterally. One of the best things that you can do is if you're driving and you see somebody panhandling or you see somebody unhoused, if you don't have any money, that's fine. Honestly, it's probably not going to get them that far. If you do, feel free. The best thing that you can do is give these people recognition. Give them a wave. And move about your day, okay? Living in these communities, being cast aside, being thrown away by your city, being thrown away by your community is heartbreaking, and you find yourself in a very isolating position where nobody outside of your community who is housed wants to see you or talk to you. They're scared. They've got internal biases. They're watching segments like we just watched. And then your community doesn't talk to you because fuck you, I'm trying to get mine. So, give it a little wave, okay? If you work at a coffee shop, one thing I used to do is we would throw away the pastries every day. I would take them, bag them up, and go deliver them to. There was normally about 5 to 10 people who would be hanging out by this grocery store, kind of down the way. Just go give them food. Be like, hey guys, I don't have any money, but I got some food. If you feel comfy and safe, ask their names. Know these people, okay?
That's cool.
Sega Saturn enjoyer, welcome. Just be a fucking human, okay? These are very basic steps that everybody can take. And if you're angry, then good, stay angry. But also stay compassionate. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're so inclined, feel free to like and share the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more. If you would like to join chat on stream, go pop on over to twitch.tv/CommieBravo. I hope to see you there.